live now on my phone. Let's see if that works. Um,
You got two lives going on.
the other one should have been shut down already.
Let's see.
So let's see.
Oh, that is true.
Okay.
I think this one's working much better, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it is.
Cool. Well, let's share this one. It's gonna have to be through your end because I don't have access to my phone now. Uh, so
Yeah.
share it through your end. I'll try to share it here on my computer on stuff, but we'll have to go live this way, and that's the way that we'll do it today. uh,
Oh, you want me to pull up like the My Anime List stuff?
no. I meant like share it if you could.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you.
I'm sharing it over here as well.
Yeah, this one looks much better. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Cool. I'm sharing it too. So sharing is caring. Yes, Keo. I do appreciate if you share this. I think finally this live is gonna work. I'm doing it through my phone now. For some reason, my computer is lagging. Uh, I don't know.
All right.
That's what happens when you pay a lot of money, right? Um,
Yeah.
hopefully, you guys can hear Arceus. I'm trying to get him as close as possible to you guys. Um, but yeah, hopefully, you guys can hear him. And I know that fan is loud. Yes, let me lower the fan. Is that better, Mongos?
All right, yeah, it looks like I sound good on the mic on the other end too. So yeah, I think we're all good.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
pick up where I left off, I guess.
yeah. Let's see. Gonna see here all. Okay, I can see the comments now. Thank God, but hey, phone's better than nothing. Yeah, I mean, phone is better than nothing. The screen might lag a little bit, and that's because the screen is still from my computer. So, but it's still better than nothing. So, we left off with Arceus saying that his number five was "Love is Indivisible" by Twins. So, uh,
Yeah,
let's
I
do
think it's
the synopsis again for the sake of
okay.
the video, Arceus.
Okay, so we're not counting sequels. You know, we were just kind of discussing that at the beginning of the stream and everything of the sort for people that aren't aware that are joining right now. Nothing wrong with them. We're just sticking with original animes for this season, for this stream. And maybe they'll get talked about later if we have time. But in any case, my number five right now is Love is Indivisible between twins. Just for someone that was curious about the series a year ago, I picked up the manga. Um, I found it to be very interesting and original, especially as the manga and anime will move on. I think the problem that some people are having with this anime that I've read and I've talked to is that it's very slow, doesn't seem that original. I think people are also tired of love triangles and stuff like that. But when it comes to this series, there's someone that's read a good portion of it, if not almost everything that's been translated right now. It's pretty different. It's gonna shock a lot of people. I feel like, especially people that are used to the cuddly, hand holdy, type of shows, and the jealousy and the you know, like dating aspect may not be the most original. But when it comes to this series, I think it's very interesting to consider the characters' emotions and why they're acting on it, as the anime is spoon feeding you very little as the episodes are going on. So yeah, I think it's a good number five. I can understand why some people are maybe a little against it, especially since the first two episodes really have not been anything as special to some people. But I just say let it cook,
Yeah, I think the first episode was really good. Um, in my
especially the
opinion, especially the
backstory, right? Sorry.
yeah. I mean, the backstory. I mean, starting from the beginning, but also seeing the different views, seeing the view from each sister, in the first part and the second part of the episode, and then I mean like the the whole drama part of it. To me, I'm just seeing a comment here from Crimson Law that the drama part is a turnoff. For me, the drama part was actually good, um, because I feel like at some point in life we end up liking the certain person as a friend or the same person as a sibling or whatever, and you end up having that weird, what do you do about it? Like, I remember my second girlfriend, um, my brother liked her, and I didn't know until I was dating her. So, there's this whole awkwardness. Like, what do you do now? Do you break up? Do you just ignore it? So on and so forth. So, here's some of the comments on YouTube. Um, Crimson says, yeah, he doesn't like the drama part. It kind of turns him off. Relationship drama is annoying to me, but still solid anime. Yeah, so far it's still not that bad. Kyo says, I like it, but Tom Girl is annoying. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole, like, it wasn't her fault, but it happened. And then I hate Rumi. I don't like dramas. The other twin is hands down better than Rumi. Yeah, I mean, she was, for the
Yeah,
fact of how she reacted. Definitely.
she's a better match for the main dude anyway because they have like the most similar like interests out of between the two.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's this one. I
What's
think
your number five?
so. For me, number five. I'm gonna go back to the actual list here on my anime list. So for me, number five is actually gonna be, I think, lower. Is it lower? Um, or maybe it's higher. It's gonna be. There it is.
What?
Um,
Yeah.
Makane, Too Many Losing Heroines. That is the series that I choose as my number five. It actually has a pretty good score here on my anime list. It has an 8.1. Um, I don't think an 8 out of 10 is what it deserves right now, but definitely a good series.
Yeah.
Um, it's another romance. So this is my number five. I think Arceus was mentioning off camera at one point that maybe he also liked this one. This one's promised 12 episodes. It is a comedy romance more than anything. Um, the whole first episode just showcases the main character, as kind of being like an outside view of broken relationships of these multiple girls, and he ends up falling for one of them. At least that's what it seems like. So yeah, I really like the off the top comedy out of this one. I think it was well done. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Arceus, on this one? I know you kind of had this one picked out as well.
I think it's great. I mean, I feel like a lot of the animes I've been like told about that they're gonna get hyped up have actually been living to the potential of what people have been telling me, and this is one of them that I think it's really great. I mean, like I really don't feel like I have much to say on it because there's only one episode out, but from what like I saw, the art is beautiful. The characters are very like nice and original in my eyes. And I think it's like I mean it kind of the show kind of hit me because I've been in that dude's shoes. Like I'm talking middle school, high school, stuff like that, and trying to just help a girl I don't even know feel better due to some context, not all of it, but just some, and to be that shoulder to cry on. And
Yeah.
then the girl is just kind of like using, in a sense, using you and like to just vent, and that's like it, you know. So it kind of hit me a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely a relatable series. It's obviously, I think Bunny is saying here that the girl's actions were cringe. I actually like that, the whole comedy aspect of it being cringe. Yeah, I've actually been in the same shoes. I think I mentioned it in my first impressions, where my first girlfriend kind of was like that. She was a very close friend, and I was helping her get over a breakup, and I was there for her. I talked to her almost, every day, and it just happened to be that eventually we became a thing. So didn't work out, obviously, but because I definitely talk about second girlfriend lately, but it is what it is. Yeah, a lot of comments here. It looks like this is actually one better liked. I think it's because of the comedy. What do you think, Arceus?
Oh, most definitely. It's a very interesting perspective on romance.
Yeah, yeah. I think with romance, you hit two aspects. You can go with the drama, and personally, I do like the drama, even though sometimes it's cringe. Or you can go with the very comedy way that this one's definitely winning in. So I think definitely deserves to be in top five. I mean, just the rating itself shows why it is. But yeah, what is your number four,
My
Arceus?
number four anime is No Longer Allowed in Another World.
No longer allowed in another
It's
world.
like number 9 or 10, like high up. So if you want to
Okay.
look at that.
Okay. While you speak about it, I will look for it.
So No Longer Allowed in Another World is actually a series that someone on Twitter was
Nice.
like, "Hey, you're gonna love it this season." You know, like it's pretty original when it comes to isekais. I see that you like some, like you're sick and tired of the cliches, and they're like, "You'll like this one." And I was like, "Well, it's got a little. It looks like a little history to it." And I was like, we'll see, right?" And it aired with its first episode. I absolutely loved it, man. Like, I just love that, you know. Little trigger warning, by the way, for some people. But like the main dude, just kind of wants to die along with whoever this girl is, and after he died, he's in an isekai with a goddess and a cat girl. And for whatever reason, this dude just has the mindset of wanting to die. Like, and I don't know. To me, I just found that really funny. Like, like it's really dumb, but it's really funny. And I like that. Like, you know, that's his only objective is like he has this mindset. He's not overpowered. He doesn't need to be overpowered. He doesn't
Yeah.
care about being overpowered. He literally just has a one-track mind about like dying. And he can't die because everyone's either rescuing him or saving him
Bruh.
um like events keep happening to him. And like I said, or as someone says in the chat, I mean, it's the guy is based off of a real author that wanted to kill himself multiple times with unsuccessful attempts. So that's very interesting to me.
Oh wow. I
Yeah,
that wow. I did not know that. This is
yeah.
actually in my list of to watch. I have
Oh, it's
not.
great.
I haven't watched it. I'll be honest. When it came out, I started watching it. I fell asleep. Not because of the episode. Um, I just fell asleep because I was tired. It was a long day, and that's what happens sometimes. But yeah, it's definitely in my list to watch. I have heard good things about this one as well, so I can't really say much about it other than what Archie has said. So I'll take
Well,
your
sorry,
word.
I don't mean to ruin it for you. Just go and watch it. It's a really fun watch, I'd say.
Yeah, no, no, no. You didn't ruin it at all. I mean, I think that's the things I've heard of it is that it is unique in itself of an easy kai. Yeah, it's also it is a parody, so that's kind of the theme in the series.
Yeah.
I love when they do parodies, especially with series like this that you have so many of. Once in a while, a parody is just fun to watch, and it makes it funny just to watch. So, some real lover said, "I like pseudo harem." I think we might have pseudo harem in our list. Not
Yeah,
sure.
we'll be getting to that soon.
Yeah, we'll begin to that one. Crimson Law says pseudo harem is a diabetic goodness. What a comment. So yeah, let's talk about my number four. So my number four is actually on top here. It is one that's searched a lot apparently, but it is at an 8.16. Gosh, these are high ratings. This is Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I've read the light novel and I read manga of it or some of the manga of it, so I know the feeling of the series. Um, it's definitely it's definitely led by its comedy. I really think that this is one that people will kind of enjoy. It has the innocent love story, but also it can get wild in its own way. Um, some people are wondering if it's a harem. From what I read, it it doesn't lead to that. Like it definitely leads between the main character and Alaya, or I hope that's how you pronounce her name. But anyways, it definitely focuses on them too. There is other characters that like the main character, but he doesn't really pay too much attention to them. As far as I've read, it's interesting from the aspect of there's subs over subs because she's speaking Russian, but it's just hilarious to see him knowing everything that she's saying and possibly, uh, you know, getting his own conclusions from it, and she just kind of um, letting her fuse out without knowing that he's hearing and understanding everything. So, was this in your list, Arceus, or?
Well, no, I'm glad you discussed it because I had it tied for number two. So now we can discuss it now instead of later and another on top of another
Oh
show.
gosh, I mean, maybe you mentioned it, and and I didn't even.
No, you're good.
It's okay. Well, there you go.
No, you
We
helped it.
got.
You helped my list a lot actually. But no, I like it. I don't know if this is like my time. You want me to share?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, so I gotta thank Mango's in the chat because he like hyped this up for me, man, and he's been telling me about it, and I'll get to Gigi Harem later, but I was like, I just can't see Aaliyah, comparing with Gigi Harem because I'm a manga reader of Gigi Harem. I've like read a lot of it, so I was like, there's no way this romance can beat Gigi Harem, man, and everything. But it's really good, and like we're only 3 episodes in, and we're already getting into like the story of like why um, why stuff is happening. And like it just kind of surprised me. Like I felt like episode one was like it pulled me in, and then after episode one, I felt like I just got like thrown into the universe, and I'm like, oh wow, like we're already starting the series.
Yeah.
I like it. I think Aaliyah's a really great character, a female protagonist especially, and she's the voice actress of Lum from Urusei Yatsura. So it kind of just is cool to just after last season her voice disappeared, she comes back. So I like that.
Yeah. So, so Alfang is saying, how is this not a harem? So at least by and you can check here on my anime list. There, harem is not tagged to this series, and the reason that is not tagged to it, I think harem is considered to be where the guy is pursued by every girl, but he himself also wants to be with every girl in the show. Whereas in this show, he, even though his mind might wander off a little bit, he focuses on the main character. So not really a harem, but it could be considered a harem, I guess. What are your thoughts on that? And then another comment also from Mangos. He said, "Don't read the manga since they changed a lot from the light novel." And yeah, I reviewed both the manga and the light novel already in my channel, and those were one of my comments. There is changes that they do. Um, Usually, just because they like to rush the manga sometimes through all the stuff that the light novel releases, but just it is what it is. But what are your thoughts on it being a harem or not, Arceus?
I didn't really think it was one. I mean, after the sister got introduced, I kind of thought that she was more like trying to like tease Aaliyah and trying because she knows Aaliyah or thinks Aaliyah likes her brother. So I kind of like, especially in the opening theme song, you see his sister literally throw him on the seat, and she like smirks at Aaliyah, and that makes Aaliyah jealous. So I thought it was more. It to me, it came across of like you don't like it when other like girls hit on your man, but like I kind of felt like that, like the sisters teasing the main girl because that I just felt like that's how girls are. I don't
Yeah.
can't really say much about Aaliyah's older sister since I don't know much about her, but I didn't really think of it as a harem to be honest. But
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. In my point of view, it's not. There has been other series similar to it where people say it's a harem, but it technically is not. And I've from what I've researched, that's kind of how they decide. At least here in the higher ups and my anime lists, they, they like to be very snooty about why they do certain stuff. But okay, we're moving already to our top three. I might have to change my third choice just because you already talked about it. But what is your third choice, Arceus?
Oh, number three is got. I mean, God, we got big romances this season. I
We
mean, I
do.
think that's kind of I think that's kind of all I have left besides my number one. But number three goes to My Wife Has No Emotion.
My
Um,
wife has no much. Now it's been a while since I saw the episode, so remind us, what is this series about?
oh my God, I mean, I just gotta thank Bunny Brittany for like telling me about this show. She's like, I've read the manga and everything, and I was like, all right, I trust you, So the series is about this gosh, this guy. He's like an office worker basically, and basically he purchased like the most basic, robot that does the cooking and cleaning, the bare minimum. Because
Oh
there's like different
yeah, yeah,
types
yeah, yeah, yeah.
of robots, but he got the most cheapest cost one that does the bare minimum basically, and basically, it's just kind of a cutesy rom com of him and his robot bonding, and just kind of taking a very consensual, very wholesome, very slow pace, type of romance. I feel like, but I feel like it just works very well.
Between
Maybe
him
because
and
it's
his
just very
robot.
different. I guess a lot of people I've been hearing from on like Twitter or YouTube videos, or just like people I've talked to, really find the series to be very like yuck, or that's gross, or the guy's an incel, or he's a beta male, and I'm like. He offers to cook and clean. She just says it's not like, it'd be very inefficient, because
Yeah,
she's a robot. But it's really cool because his family accepts him dating a robot. I mean, they basically become husband and wife. I think at the end of the first episode. I mean, if you don't, I feel like if you don't look too into it, I feel like it's very cute. If you're not, I mean, I don't know. It's really nice. It's a very chill like show. I'd say. I think it's really cool.
yeah, yeah. I mean, these were my thoughts, and these are the thoughts that I see a lot from it. It's just the weirdness between her being a robot. Um, I did mention this. I remember now in my first impressions, I did mention it as um, this this could very much happen in the future, and In fact, it's actually has happened a few times already, and it's not really romance per se, but there's a lot of elderly people that live alone, have no one to talk to, and you hear stories of them conversating with like Alexa or those voice boxes by Google and Amazon. And is that per se a bad thing? Not so much. I mean, um,
Have you
if
reviewed it on your channel, Urban?
I have actually, I've given my first impressions already on it.
Okay, okay.
I think when I lived alone, I got myself an Alexa, and I remember I would like wake up and I would say, "Good morning, Alexa. Tell me the news," and like I had commands for it, but just kind of hearing another voice in the house was nice. So I understand the loneliness feeling from from the character, um, but it still doesn't take away from the weirdness um,
Yeah.
of him like jumping to wife status after just was it 1 or 2 days? I think it was just 1 day. Um, so yeah,
Oh,
still.
Brittany's telling me that it's been a while. It's just the anime kind of didn't really present that well, I guess.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Regardless, I get it. I get what you mean.
yeah.
I understand why people could be a little uncomfortable about this show. I really do.
Yes.
But if you're, I feel like if you're looking at it, and this is where it's coming from my point of view. I feel like if you're looking at it more of like a cute romance, and yes, she's a robot, and just like just chill down on a Saturday when it comes out and just watching it. I don't know. It seems cool. No complaints.
Yeah. Well, it's a cute rom com about a dude and a robot, so let them be happy together. Yeah, at the end of the day, if that's what he's going to, he's not hurting anyone. I mean,
Listen,
okay.
man, his family accepts it. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not hurting anybody, so I guess it's okay. I mean, there's
It's also consensual, man.
yeah.
I don't know how far you're into the anime, but I mean, he asked her, "Is it okay I do this? Is it okay I do that?" And stuff like that. I don't know. I think that's really cool. I don't know.
Well, I think if I asked Alexa if it was okay for certain things, I'm sure she would say yes. Even though it was probably morally wrong. But
So, Urban, do you find the show to just be all right? It's kind of an odd pick. You'd say, or what? Like, no hard feelings. Just want to know.
no hard feelings. I think it's an odd pick for top five. It's a good series. It's an odd pick for top five.
All right, all right.
but but I understand that we both come from different perspectives.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I myself I can relate to the character, like to the guy character from the loneliness from because when I wasn't married, I lived alone for 2 years before I got married to my wife, and she was studying 5 hours away, so we didn't see each other every day. Actually, we would see each other maybe once or twice a month. Um, a lot of those days, I would purposely work 12-hour shifts or more because I didn't want to go home and be alone, you know?
Uh,
Because I at that point I already had a house because I was preparing, for my wife, preparing for children and all that. So I had a house already, and I remember coming home some days, and it was just like it's an empty home. Like what do I do? Like there's no cleaning to do because it's only me. There was no fixing to do because it was a fairly remodeled house, so it wasn't too bad. So like, oftentimes, like I can relate to the character from his perspective of busy life, getting home. He doesn't really want to do anything because the whole depression kind of hits in. So it's nice to come to like a home cooked meal and all that. So I do connect to it. So I don't completely shame the series, but I do think it's an odd choice for top five.
that's
So,
fine. That's fine.
in that perspective, because you did take Love is Indivisible by Twins, I'm gonna throw in a odd choice for top five. And if I were to remake this list, I'd probably put this one on five, not three. but it is what it is. I originally had Love is Indivisible by Twins. Hiri spoke about it, so I want to talk about Days with My Stepsister. What you think about that series, Arceus?
I got flamed on Twitter for my opinion at first of episode 1. I'm talking, people blocked me. People thought I was wrong. People thought I was crazy because I really did not like this show at all. Like, at all.
Yeah.
At all, man. I've been coming around to it due to some people kind of helping me inform me more about the series. It really still doesn't help that, I still kind of have a hate towards it, but I have more of an understanding for it.
Yeah.
If anything, now I get it. I think it's okay. I understand the two characters. I understand their background, but yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I hated the episode 1. I don't think anything.
I'm the people, says Mongos. Fantastic show. Yeah, I think it deserves some love. Okay, so let's get the cringe out of the way. Is there a romance?
Yes. It's labeled a romance.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, it is labeled a romance, huh? It's like the only genre it has is romance. Is it a romance? I don't know.
Want to explain yourself?
The show freaking sucks, says King David. So I think we're pretty much divided on the chat as well as me and Arceus. Let me explain my perspective because I actually read some of the light novel. I got sent the light novel by Yenon for me to review here on my channel. So I got to get into the deep ends of this series.
I'm sorry, can I say one thing before? Before I had the opinion I watched your video on the series, and I hyped it up, by the way. Brittany could vouch for that. I did. I said, no, it's not going to be like that stepsister stuff. I said, I saw Irvin's video. He clarified. He said he read a good chunk of it and stuff like that. And then
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if you really get into depth of it, a lot of the story is actually dialogue of them coming together to be friends. That's the initial thing. Like they two separate people coming into a relationship that they're kind of like pushed into because parents fell in love. They ended up being the same age, okay, but it's not your typical like, oh, I fell on top of her and now we're in an awkward position type of anime. It's not your typical, oh, I walked in the wrong moment anime. It's definitely a lot more dialogue, and I will say it is one of those series that tries to justify the relationship between a stepbrother and a stepsister being okay. Because yes, it is eventually leading to maybe romance, but the main part of the series is really them trying to understand their relationship now being siblings, but also strangers in life. So really the initial goal was for them to just become friends. It just becomes more in the end, but you don't see that in the first episode. Like, you see the first episode, and if you get fan servicey stepsister content, then I don't know what episode you watched. So there is no "what are you doing, stepbro" is what Kristen Law said. There is no that in the first episode. I don't think there is. So let's see. Some of this chat here says they are strangers. Yeah, they're both 16. Like, I get it. It's morally wrong, but at the same time, they're not blood related. They're both 16, which in Japan's eyes, they're basically adults, right? And I'm gonna sound like a weirdo trying to defend it this way, but if you put it in our perspective, is like if you Arceus, you were 18, and well, I don't want to make it weird. Another male is 18 and a female is 18 and their parents fell in love, you know, they're 18 years old. They're adults in the eyes of the law. So is it weird? I don't think so. Not so much. I understand the lines that it's trying to cross and is trying to justify it, but I think it does a good job about it. So, what are your thoughts, Arceus?
I just, I just, I'm sorry. I'm over here wrapping my head about I know you, Irvin, decently well. I feel like, and I'm just over here like, okay, rent a girlfriend, stepsister. What's next?
Yeah, I will say this is one that, because again, I have family that follows me on YouTube. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give even my first impressions on it because of the whole stepsister being the title. It's like, come on, should I just put the Japanese title instead? They're not gonna look up the Japanese title, but no, I still stand by it. I still think it's a good series because it's dialogue based. It's not fan service based. If it was fan
I
service,
don't understand. Do you remember when Stepsister X came out and everyone was like flaming that show? Like, what's the difference? But it's the same show, isn't it?
no. There's no X on this one.
But it's the same thing, and I like that shit.
You liked it for the wrong reasons. That's the thing. So.
By the way, speaking of Rent a Girlfriend, you know that season 4 is coming, right? Next year.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll be talking about that hopefully when it comes out. So, okay, let's move to our number 2s before we talk about our honorable mentions. Which we mentioned some continuations already, but we'll mention more as well as other ones that we think that you should consider, even though they're not part of our top 5.
Well, Brittany was saying, but they didn't LOL. They met and fell in love after, so that's weird. A kicker says, step second removed, cousin Arceus. Mango says, the X in this one is completely different. And Kyo says, I mean, yeah, but they did grow up together and not related by any blood, and they are close to an adult age, like you said, Irvin.
Yeah. I mean, it's different if he was 4, she was 4, their parents married, and then they grew up as siblings, and then when they're 16, after living 12 years together, they fall in love, right? That's a whole different story, because if you're raised as siblings, that's what you're gonna see. And that's really the question is that's the question that he's questioning himself, is that I'm living with this girl who he thinks is pretty, who he thinks is cool. How should I see her? Do I see her as a sibling? Do I see her as a friend? Do I see her as a potential lover because we're at that age and we can actually date if we wanted to? So that's really what it's questioning, and I think it does a good job. But I'm gonna stop defending it. You guys be your own judge of this one. Go watch the whole series this season. You will not regret it, and if you do, well, you have another anime to your list. So, Arceus, your number 2.
All right, number 2 has got to be Gijihara, man. I mean, from a manga reader that's been reading this since 2020. I think it came out a little before then, but I started reading when it was in 2020. Yeah. And I absolutely loved it. I said, I don't think this will ever get an anime, and then it gets an anime adaptation, and I'm like, you guys ain't ready. Like, people have seen harems, people have seen romances, no one's seen something this different. And I watched it. We watched it, obviously. And I just think it's great. I mean, I think the positiveness from the show has actually been showing very well from what I've seen, which has surprised me, honestly. I kind of thought it would have been a show that was very overshadowed. I thought people would have skipped it. I thought people would have been like, this is dumb and everything. But I think it's just a really great, solid romance. And It should be a complete anime adaptation. It should be. The manga is like 4 to 5 pages long each chapter,
Yeah.
and the first episode covered about 12 to 13 chapters. If you multiply that, it'd be 140, 150 chapters, which is how much the manga has right now. So it should be a complete anime adaptation.
Wow.
And I just am telling people to just get ready for it, because we're getting to know the characters now. We're getting to know their them acting and stuff. But as the anime goes on, you'll start seeing the romantic dynamic be very interesting. I think.
Yeah, so this is actually part of my honorable mentions. It definitely tied for number 5 when it came to Too Many Losing Heroines, because both of these series, I went into it not knowing much about it and then being surprised. This is another one that I was like, should I even review it? Again, I do have family that follows me on YouTube, so having the word harem in one of my videos was kind of like, well, should I even put it?
Oh, I apologize.
Well, no. I mean, I did give my first impressions on it, so it didn't stop me. But yeah, I mean, it's not what it is. Like, it's the word harem always, kind of throws this thought of it's gonna be fan servicey, it's gonna be ecchi, it's gonna have all this lewd stuff, and at most, it's a guy who really likes to roleplay.
Yeah, but I think the gist, or the main point is that he sucks at acting, right? So he's trying. So she's doing these roles and stuff like that. Not really like to be in a harem with him, but more to like practice, for him to get better at acting, and how he responds to these certain girls. I guess, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's definitely has her few characters. I like it. Is King David says that Gigi Harem is the freaking true goat. Yeah, it really is. It's a really good series. I don't have it in my top 5, but it really is a good series. And harem just another word for options. Yeah, so she does a really good job in her impersonations. The only reason I didn't put it in my top 5, I'm just gonna be honest, it's one of those series that I feel like it will become repetitive.
But don't expect that. No.
If they don't add an actual backbone story to it. So that's just, the gut feeling that I got.
That's
What?
Are you still? I said that's fine, of course. Are you gonna like? Are you still watching it weekly?
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Still gonna watch it. Definitely gonna watch this one. I do hope they dub it, but I am gonna watch this one. I'm watching a lot of subs, and being a father of 4 kids is not easy to watch all these series that I want to keep up with. But it is what it is. I do respect this one. I do think it deserves to be in people's top 5s. It's just didn't make it in mine this today. I would have added this one, to be honest, instead of Days with My Stepsister, but I knew that you had it in your top 5, so I didn't want to take away your thunder. Yeah.
So yeah, what's your number 2, man?
So my number 2 is going to be Failure Frame, which is here you go, right here. Failure Frame. So yeah, this is definitely one that has to be mentioned. It has a low score. Wow, 6.46. What a shame. But Failure Frame is actually pretty good. Other series that remind me of this one, if you ever watched the series that was, it came out on High Dive.
Ari Fueta?
What?
Ari Fueta? The common...
Oh yeah, Arifureta is one of them, like this one. The other one is that just aired a few months ago. My instant kill, my instant kill ability. What?
The instant death ability, right?
Yes, the instant death. It has a long name, which is gonna kill me. So I'm gonna find it, because I remember just seeing it here in my bookshelf. But I guess not. Yeah, no, I guess not. I lost it. All right, but yeah, that one, the instant kill one, that one is also reminds me of it, where they kind of let the weak character uh, to be killed off or die off, and they end up actually coming back strong and as an OP character. This is basically it. First episode was pretty good. Um, it is definitely one that I think not a lot of people
Have
are
you
talking
seen have you,
about. What?
have you seen episode 2 yet, or just one?
I actually have not seen episode two yet.
Okay.
So yeah, most of these I've only watched episode ones because I'm getting my first impressions to them still.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I know there has been talks about it. People saying that it's not as great. The animation is too basic. Some people just compare it to other isekais. I understand that. I really enjoy when they isekai like a whole group and not just one person,
Oh, me too.
because it shows how people will act different if they're isekai. So, oh gosh,
It's why instant death ability I think was really good.
a frame failure at two. Yeah, I know. Um, I'm a sucker for stuff like this. The art is trash. Ain't no way. CGI is all trash. Yeah, so this is comments that I've seen. I understand the animation and all that. Um, I like Revenge series. That's just what it is. And I don't like because it's revenge. But what went on the animation? There's good animation. This goes horrible and randomly with the CGI. Yeah, I think there's series that do bad with animation, and the
It's just
story is still good.
you haven't seen episode 2 yet. That's what people are saying, but it doesn't matter. I'll get to my opinion after you're done.
Oh, okay. Well, and just kind of throwing to the CGI, there has been series that don't do well in animation. Like I remember when Black Clover, they like halfway decided to change the type of animation they were using, and it was in a peak era of Black Clover, and people were happy, people were mad. I mean, you had all very divisive side. The story was still good. And I remember reacting to it and me saying, "Gosh, it's trash," but I'm still gonna watch it because the story is still good. This is the same thing. I feel like the story is good enough to push away from the CGI. I guess it's episode two because I didn't see a lot of it being too bad in episode one. But I mean, if you're in the anime industry or understand the anime industry, you also gotta give them credit. Like, there's a lot of animes being released, being pushed, and I'm sure that something maybe went wrong on their end, and that's fine. They'll fix it in the next episode.
I
Um,
100% agree with you on that take.
what's what's your opinion, Arceus?
Well, I think people are blinded by Demon Slayer and Wistoria's animation, man, from last season and this season, dude. I mean, I literally had a huge animation talk on my Twitter. I said if Mushoku Tensei was CGI, if any of my favorite animes were CGI, terrible animation, I would still watch it because the story, the characters, the you know, the dialogue, what pushes the like the fights, it pushed like that's why I fell in love with the show. Art and animation's a bonus to me, and like I agree with you 100% when you say that maybe the animator's having a bad day, maybe the studio's just on. They decided to take this anime for the season, but they weren't ready yet, and stuff like that. But they had to push something out because of a contract,
Yeah,
and everything of this sort. But I just think people are just so blinded by animation and art. I think
yeah,
if you, like I understand that this anime may
yeah,
not have an original story. I
yeah,
understand that the tropes are very similar to other things,
yeah,
but what's making me continue this show is that he's solo, he's solo by himself right now. Some of his classmates, those two girls seem to very really cared about him, and how he stood up for the or you'll see as the episodes go on, but you'll see that some of his classmates actually do care about him, and they feel bad for not doing more in the first episode. You'll see
Yeah.
that other classmates are trying to manipulate other classmates, and I'm like, this is like, this is life. People are going to manipulate others. They're going to make you
Heck
feel
yeah.
bad, in another setting and stuff like that. Like you said, Urban. I mean,
Heck
I
yeah.
think it's
I mean, if a whole class was isekai, it's definitely going to become a survival of the fittest. That's just what it is. I mean, there's going to be. You have to be realistic. You end up with powers. They're going to abuse those powers. Like,
yeah,
there are going to be people that are going to want to take advantage of girls, and like if you think beyond that, and there's going to be killings, and you know surprisingly there hasn't been a series that dark yet, but it can get that dark. Like I think Arifureta kind of gets that dark in maybe season 2 or 3, with some of the characters going off against their own classmates, but it doesn't really touch as dark as they can get, because evil people will still be evil people in another world. And if you give them superpowers, you just lost them. They're gonna go insane. So
yeah,
there's a lot of comments here. I'm gonna read the last 3 here because I think they're based on what we just said. The animation doesn't need to be high quality animation like Demon Slayer, but the animation is the best. Isn't the best, and in the story is kind of basic, in his opinion. The animation, this is from Kyo, is going to be a huge part of the criticism too. Otherwise, we'll only get manga and light novels. I understand that. I think newer anime fans seeing this and other witty top tier anime kind of spoil them. Think every anime needs to be at level. Yeah. So and yeah, it comes to that. There's a lot of people that have only seen Demon Slayer, have only seen My Hero Academia, have only seen, One Piece and all these other series that have a huge budget and a huge group behind it, and like there's definitely a lot more planning to those, and there's a lot more love to each episode, that it creates a expectation for every series, and when every series doesn't produce that, then you lose people, and I think this one is kind of an example of that. I'm gonna be honest, number 2, maybe not number 2, but I still think it's, in my opinion, story wise, I do like it to be number 5. I like that the goddess was an evil goddess. That's another thing to it.
we seem to agree pretty much on everything when it comes to this, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do like if you're isekai, what makes you think that the goddess is going to be a good goddess, right? That's the other thing
Yeah,
to it. So there's stuff that I like about it that I think is maybe not basic or comparable to other series, but I understand how it can be comparable. It could be seen as just another isekai, but we all have our own opinions. Just
yeah.
happens to be that I like to listen to my opinion. Kidding. So before we get to number 1, let's talk about some mentions. I'm not gonna go to the actual pages. I'll just scroll around. But you mentioned one, Arceus.
Well, I know
Which
we didn't really say anything about sequels, but I'm really enjoying Tower of God season 2, Oceanoko season 2, Fairy Tale right now. Um,
Fairy Tale? Okay, so you're moving a lot faster than I thought you were. So Oshinoko season 2. I think that one's airing in High Dive only, right?
yeah,
I think they added the first season in Hulu. So if you haven't seen it, you can watch the first season in Hulu, both dub and subbed. But season 2, yeah, it's releasing on High Dive. It's 13 episodes promised. So I personally agree with you. Oshinoko, good mention. Tower of God, I've heard a lot of good things about it. Can't say much about it. And then which other one you said? Fairy Tale,
oh, Fairy Tale is good right now. I feel like.
the 100 Year Quest. I actually don't like Fairy Tale.
Yeah, I think you told me that.
I tried watching Fairy Tale. I have several series that I know that they are iconic in the anime world, and I just never watched. And for those that are new to my channel or new to me, just so you know, my anime knowledge This channel, I think I started back in 2016, 2017. So I've been reviewing stuff for about 7 years. But I started watching anime since about 2010, 2011. Um, that's right after high school. And then before then, as a little kid, I watched the typical shonen series that everyone grew up with, which was Dragon Ball and, others. So Fairy Tail is one of those in my list that I wanted to watch, but uh, I started watching it and didn't really get into it. So sorry. Which other
No, that's
honorable
cool.
mentions do you have?
Another one I have is the magical girl and the evil lieutenant.
Okay, so
That's
I haven't seen that one yet. Where
oh,
is
you're
it?
gonna like it, I think.
Is it a romance?
Yeah. It's a romance. It's like the magical girl and the evil guy, are supposed to like, kill each other, but like the dude has this mad crush on her and she's like, "I'm grateful for your kindness and stuff." It's really cute. It's 12 minutes an episode. Um
Oh, really?
because yeah, because the manga never finished. Well, and it's like 20 chapters for the manga, but they're gonna adapt everything. The manga never finished because the author's dead.
Oh
That's
gosh,
it's a very dark story, but yeah, that's why it's like 12 minutes an episode.
I don't even see it here in the list. Where is
It's
it?
um, hold on, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12,
Oh, I
14.
see. I see it. I see it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's really cute. I wouldn't say it's anything original, but for anyone that's looking for a cute, I mean, it's by Studio Bone, so if people like My Hero Academia's animation, go check it out.
Yeah.
So
One that I would also mention is VTuber Legend, right next to it.
yeah,
Um, VTuber Legend is definitely um, it's a comedy. I didn't expect it to be as vulgar as it was, which fan service for me as an older age sometimes is a turnoff. Um, but this one was funny. I thought it was funny, but not top five material. What else do you have, Arceus?
the only other two I could say are Cafe Terrace Season 2 and, of course, Nokotan, man.
Nokotan.
Yeah, the deer.
Oh yes, Nokotan. So I watched that one because I had a friend that he really wanted to watch it. He had seen TikToks and read about it. He's like, it's gonna be hilarious, and he really hyped it up for me. It's funny. It's not top five material, but yeah, it is. It is funny. Um, so yeah, from my list that I have honorable mentions. You mentioned quite a bit of them. Shy is a series that's returning with
Yes.
season two. Where is it? Here it is. It's pretty low to be honest in the list, but Shy is returning with a season two. I haven't released my first impressions, but I will release it tomorrow. It has a slow start right now, but it's building up to another fight with the evildoers. And if you like superhero series, this one's good. It's
Shy is better than My Hero Academia.
That's an opinion. Okay, great. um, yeah, I don't know if everyone would agree that Shy is better than My Hero Academia, but it's definitely different than My Hero Academia. It's female character led. So yeah, next to it is another one that I would mention as well. I'm a survival anime buff. I love all survival series. I didn't think it had a good start, but I mean, I want to watch it, and that is Fate of the Majority. Yeah, that's one that I would say go watch. Did you ever watch? I just passed it. Did you ever watch Ramen Akaneko?
No, I did not.
It's such a weird anime. it's,
Tell us all about it, man.
it's not an honorable mention, but um, being that you mentioned a wild one like the deer one, this is definitely a wild one too. It's not comedy. It definitely wants to be drama, but it's not. Maybe it is comedy. I don't know. But it's about a girl that gets a job in a ramen place that's led and in completely worked by cats. And she basically is hired to brush these cats daily because they don't want hair to fall on the food. And so half of the episode is just her brushing cats. Um, yeah, it's a
Dear anime.
it's a it's a funny one, I guess. Um, Gosh, going through this, Yami Shabai season 13 is out.
Oh no.
I'm a sucker for horror as well. Yami Shabai is just one of those that if you haven't ever seen and you like horror, why not?
I did
Uh,
miss an honorable mention whenever you're done, Irvin.
okay, I think I have one more, which it's all the way to the top, so I won't scroll all the way to the top because I'm here at the continuation ones. But that's gonna be Suicide Squad Isekai. Um, don't think a lot of people are watching it. I think it's airing on Hulu and Max. It's made by Max, Warner Bros, but I think airing on both Hulu and Max. Um, it's definitely an anime. I think it's opening doors for more series to come. I do understand that there is like a push for a lot of superheroes to become animes. Here are some mangas. I'm gonna put them here on the camera. Batman, Justice Buster. You got Deadpool, Samurai. Uh, it's it's becoming a very common thing, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these companies continue. This is a Star Wars manga, so they are releasing mangas for sure, but the fact that this one is kind of the first one, completely being honest that it is an anime, I think it's great. I don't think it's definitely top five or not even top 10 in my list, but it's beginning a movement that I think will become common in the future. So, okay, Arceus, any more?
It means anime's mainstream now.
Yeah, I mean it's become mainstream for a while. Um, it depends who you ask. Like if you talk to like buff guys that watch anime from the '90s, that they would have said when Dragon Ball and when Naruto and Hunter x Hunter were airing that, oh, now anime is mainstream, right? Because back then it was so hard to get anime. When it became something that you they aired on TV, people were saying, well, now it's mainstream because it's coming out here in the US and it's in English, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a whole big wave a few years ago. I want to say maybe before the pandemic, but the pandemic also helped with My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer and even One Piece getting into the Wano arc, and all these top tier animes as well, brought in a bunch of new anime watchers. I mean, I remember not having any friend that watched anime, and that was fine with me. But now I have a lot of acquaintances, a lot of friends that watch anime, and a lot of them have only been watching it for a year or two. So I think it's been mainstream in its own way for a while, but yeah, it's bringing in more mainstream stories into the anime manga world, which I don't know how things can come out because anime has its own tropes that don't really mix with Disney ideas. So I'm wondering how that's gonna have work out at the end. So
I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
yeah. So I just realized he never likes to say that a lot of stuff is goat. My dear
Yeah, man.
friend is goat.
He's dude. He's like my hype man. I don't know. He hypes everyone up. You need a guy.
Awesome, dude. Okay. We're coming to our number ones close, but what is another honorable mention from your side?
I absolutely think my favorite anime that's like not a sequel this season. Oh, sorry. Before I go on, I know the honorable mention I wanted to mention was Raising Kids in Another World. Have you watched that one yet, Irvin?
Yeah. You commented on it because I had said it's so
Oh
weird that
yeah,
they're both look like boys to me. And you're like, one has a skirt. I'm like, what? They do. One does have a skirt. Um, yeah.
I think it's really cute. Another series. It always happens to me. My favorite series always turn out to be the ones I never expect. I feel like it. Brittany had it on her list. It was dubbed, so I gave it a try, and it's really good. I enjoyed it. I think it's really fun that these kids basically, beat these like people's, butt and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a cute series. Um, I don't think it deserves being top five. So yeah, definitely a good honorable mention. But it's kind of hard to not include stuff that that's been here and that's has multiple seasons or just continuing. Um, Here's some of the stuff that's continuing right now. Not really gonna mention all the names, but the Fable is one. If you never read or seen this one, pretty good one. One Piece,
Theo loves it. Yeah.
yeah, One Piece is definitely one that I love, but it's hard to get into because it has so many episodes. My Hero Academia, you either love it or you hate it. It is what it is. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. It's a pretty good series as well if you haven't seen it. And then that time I got reincarnated as slime season 3. That's another one that people really like as well. It's kind of a world builder series. But yeah, I think it's hard to not include them, but we kind of have to because then it becomes almost like half of our list are going to be stuff that's just continuing. And I mean, in all honesty, I think you would agree, Arceus. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your number one? And I'm gonna guess you're gonna say Twilight Out of Focus.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely Brittany's one. Yeah. my, oh my God. My number one, which I never expected to ever say it would be number one. Like original show that I'm enjoying the most, that I like the best, that I think that really deserves this spot is called A Nobody's Way Up to Exploration Hero, or Mob Kara for short. I just absolutely love the entertainment and like enjoyment I'm getting from this show every Saturday. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, I'm looking for it so I can pull it up for you.
It's pretty low.
Here.
It's pretty low.
Oh, it's pretty low. Gosh. Okay. Okay.
So, I enjoy the show a lot. I really watched the first like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is going to seem so generic. But since 2 episodes aired that day, that helped my impression a lot of the show with him basically summoning these Pokemon card girls and stuff like that. And he's not overpowered, and then he has to feed the gems to these girls, which is his money, his actual money and stuff like that, which he doesn't get because he keeps feeding them, or he's not. And it's so funny because like he's not overpowered, but he's trying to level up the like normal way of like of like a fantasy world RPG character, and everything. And he needs help from these two girls from these cards, which he could have sold for millions of dollars, but he decided to summon them instead and realized that they were just kids, but didn't realize these kids had powers and stuff like that. And just the shock of like this guy of being like, oh, I could have sold this for money, but I have to feed the girls with my gems, and this other girl is being, like asking for more money slash gems, because she's the devil girl and everything. And like I just think it's so cute, so funny, so entertaining to me.
I'm surprised this is your number one. you t- you
Why?
you're telling me now. Um, no, I'm not gonna say anything.
Why?
I personally think this was a mid series, to be honest. Uh, let's just see some of the comments before I say anything. Says my number one's probably Nokotan. That's Blame Brittany or the child care, and I think Sanrio said is child care one out yet. I don't know if this is the child care one out yet. Not sure about that one. I'll check as to read the rest. And then Keo said dropped. It's a 5, but I'm glad Arcee is liking it. Yeah, and this is the magic of anime, is that because there's so many of them airing, you're gonna like something. You're gonna end up liking something, and there's stuff that we didn't mention because we don't like certain tropes and stuff like that that maybe you guys liked, and that's fine. Where is the daycare one? But I thought I had seen it. But yeah, I personally I've only seen the first episode. First of all, so I haven't seen the Devil Girl come into play. I obviously know that she exists because of the no, I think this is the one they're mentioning, Delico's Nursery, which is Delico's Nursery comes out in August, so that one's not out yet. Or maybe she means something else. Oh, she just
Yeah, we're talking about raising kids in another world.
oh, that's the one she was mentioning. Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
they're
Okay,
both like childcare.
I thought she meant this one, the Delico's Nursery, which is on my list to watch. But yeah, that one's airing till August. Anyways, yeah, I didn't really like the whole like him not knowing what to do with the card. I guess question: would you have sold the card, Arceus, or would you have done what he did?
Oh,
And
100% I would have sold that card, man. I need more.
yeah. I didn't like that. I would have sold the card too.
But dude, here's what I don't understand from anime fans. I will never understand anime fans because everyone's like, dude, I'm so sick of the overpowered character that gets everything. This dude literally has to feed these two girls with his own money. He is not overpowered. He literally is like he's doing school, he's leveling up. I mean, this guy's got a life. I mean, like, it is probably one of the most original, non-generic, like, isekai fantasy, like, animes. Like, I don't think people understand that that's, like, where I'm at right now. I'm so sick and tired of, like, the cliche stuff that, like, when something like Tales of Wedding Rings, I love that. I love that show so much. I know you probably hate it, but, like, it felt very original to me, you know?
Which
Like,
one?
no, but I'm also contradicting myself because but he's not overpowered. Sorry, that's another talk. But
The Tales of Wedding Rings.
yeah, I liked it.
So, if you go to my channel, look up Tales of Wedding Rings. I've reviewed the manga on my channel. First of all, so I know Tales of Wedding Rings. I know what happens beyond the anime first season. Because I watched the season thinking, how far are they gonna take it? And not too far. Like they're gonna take their sweet time on this one if they do actually do more seasons. I won't go on a long tangent, but that is a guilty pleasure for me. I do like Tales of Wedding Rings,
Honestly,
but it is a little bit too wild in the wild side, so I didn't want to react to it or do anything like that beyond what I already have in my channel. But yeah, comments here giving you L's, Brittany. Good job, Brittany. Uh, they're saying poor Arceus. And some people are cheering for
why?
Brittany. And then Kyo Dantes says, "What's your take on Elusive Samurai?" Well, funny to say, this is my number one, the Elusive Samurai.
What? What? No!
8.02 is the rating right now on my anime list, and I think it deserves the 8 out of 10 that it has. Have you seen the first episode?
The only thing I like about that show is the art and animation.
Did you see the first episode?
Yes.
Did you see how great it was?
No, how is it great?
Okay, well, I guess both are number ones or L's. Hopefully not. Are people liking Elusive Samurai? Because I think it's great. I think it's an awesome series. I read the manga through Shonen Jump. I think back in the
want you
day.
to click on the manga. Click on the manga rating right now. I need you to see that score.
Oh gosh, come on, come on. Is it a 5? It's a 6.5.
Yep, that's what the anime deserves.
No, no. Gosh. Okay, go back to the animation. I've read up to like chapter like 110 or 120. I haven't finished the manga. I think it's still releasing actually. Um, but pretty good series. Let's see. I hear amazing. Elusive Samurai is peak. Um, Arceus will never understand what peak is. Yes, at least I have some people here in the chat agreeing with me. Elusive Samurai was actually pretty good. First episode was epic, dude. Especially if you didn't know what it was about. Like, did you know what the series was about?
Yeah, I know that he runs away from all his fights, basically. To
Oh,
be fair, I'm kind of being a little over exaggerating. I understand why it's popular. I'm just not a history samurai type of like that. That's not my genre.
yeah, and it's not mine either. If you were to look at my list of stuff that I watch, I don't watch a lot of historical based series, but what I liked about this one is that it's both lighthearted, but also has history to it. But then it also gets pretty dark when it wants to get dark. Um, and the first episode is a good representation of what the series can be. I don't know if the series is going to be like that the entire way. I kind of feel like after maybe the first episode or two, it's going to get a little bit more lighthearted uh, than dark. But if you read a lot of the manga, there's a lot of battles, there's a lot of deaths, um, and it's a pretty good historical series, to be honest. So I personally think it is one of the better ones that's releasing. Not just because of the animation. The animation is amazing, but again, beyond that, the story itself is great. If you were a person that didn't know anything about it, didn't go to Twitter and see all the dark scenes that people are posting on Twitter, because that's what everyone was shocked about. If you went blindsided, you would have loved the first episode. I think that's why people really like it. They like it because of the fight scenes. They like it because of them being blindsided, and I think they really don't care about it being a historical series, to be honest. So, 12 episodes promise. It's releasing on Saturdays. 8.02 score out of 10. The anime family looks to be really into it. Oh my gosh, we have Xiomara in the chat, which has been a long time, Xiomara, since we've been live, and I'm so happy that you're here. We also have King David saying, I haven't seen the show, but the animation of the fight scenes are freaking amazing. Yeah, yeah, a lot of people who haven't seen the show, they've probably seen stuff online on Twitter, and you've probably liked it as well. Not gonna lie, my enemy list ratings are a cesspool because it's always way too much rating bombs or very critical people at times. I think best is always through your personal experience and then Yeah, I agree to that. I actually started on my TikTok some videos on my anime list top fives, and they're wild. They're all over the place. And yeah, it's because most of the time mainstream will be on top, and that's just what it is. This one is doing really well on Twitter, which is probably why it has
I trust the live charts ratings a lot more than my anime list, but I understand. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So, yeah. Can't believe you don't like
There,
you didn't
some
like it.
solid picks, Irvin, man. I really can't complain with anything you mentioned. If I'm being like genuinely honest with you, like that's a great pick. I'm very obscure with things. I think you know that. I think most of the chat that knows me knows that, and like I appreciate the support people give me on there, and like we all mess around with each other. Of course, that's how we're friends
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that. But yeah, I'm just very quirky. I like things that are very different. Something that just randomly stands out to me. It can just be interesting. But I'm also a very I've been slightly getting more into like romance is like probably my number one genre, and maybe some action adventure. Fantasy is probably like the next. So yeah, I'm just not a big shonen guy, and I think most people kind of know that.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I like shonen. I don't think all shonen is great. Like obviously, fairy tale. I don't think it's great. I do like the writer's second production that did well, which is Eden Zero. That's a probably better anime to be honest. But yeah, so now is the time to give us some questions here in the chat. We're gonna still be live for a few more minutes, but if you have any questions, it looks like Keo has a question for me. Have you seen Wistoria? Yeah, actually, I don't know why I didn't mention it as a honorable mention. Wistoria actually was decent. It's here in the middle. If you're looking at the screen, Wistoria, Wand and Sword. I really liked the first episode. How they portrayed the character almost as a weakling, and then he ended up being an OP character because no one trains the way that he does. I think it's definitely a series that people will watch, but I don't think it deserved to be top five. I just thought it was kind of repetitive with the whole protagonist being a weakling and then becoming OP character and defeats all his enemies trope. And I don't know. It has promising. What's the word?
Potential.
Yeah. Yes. It has good potential to be in a good series. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this one, to be honest. So it doesn't have controversial scenes per se.
What do you think was? You've seen the first episode of Wistoria,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Did you think that the promise he made with the girl felt like Kaiju number 8?
Yeah,
Or how he
yeah, 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 definitely. I mean, I actually was in my mind, I was comparing it to Black Clover because
That's another one.
because Black Clover, like the main characters, one has natural talent, like the girl that he made the promise with. The one dude who his best friend at childhood, natural talent. He becomes like the person in people's eyes, and he has no magic power, right? So, very similar to this one, doesn't have magic power, so he has to take swordsmanship and stuff like that. So, yeah. Other questions here. So I'm gonna answer first King David, and then go back to Mongo's question because I think Mongo's question is a better question more than anything. But King David said, "What What do you guys think of Bye Bye Earth?" Bye Bye Earth. I actually didn't even consider it to be a mentionable mention. Uh, have you seen Bye Bye Earth, by the way?
I've seen the first episode. I think it's all right.
It was a little
Not re-
confusing.
there was what?
It was a little confusing.
I definitely can understand that too. I don't think this show explained a lot, but I even after the first episode, I really didn't care to learn more, and that's kind of why I dropped it. But it's all right. Like I don't think it's like the best thing ever, but I don't think it's the worst thing ever either.
Mongoose, are you being serious? You think it's peak? He put it's peak in my opinion. Uh, I hope that's a joke because we're insulting your peak anime. Um, but give it 4 episodes. Well, if it's dubbed, I'll give it 4 episodes. I don't know, and I want to watch 4 subbed episodes. Um, which I guess leads on to Mongo's question. Um, what would I drop off? So
Like, what animes have you dropped?
dropped, yeah. So I definitely drop a lot of series because I do react to most of them, and then I end up dropping maybe half of them or more, just because I don't have a lot of time. And then I do go back and watch dub series after maybe a season, once all dubs episodes have been released. Which is why I said if it's dub, I'll probably give it a try. But at this point, Bye Bye Earth is one that I'm definitely dropping. Um, and I guess I'll give my list first, and then Arceus, you can give your list.
Yeah.
I'll just start from the top here, and then go down the list. Um, so, my dear friend Nokotan, just because I can feel like the humor can be repetitive or can become repetitive, this is one that I'm dropping. Um, Easy Kai Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad Easy Kai. I'm dropping for now, but I will rewatch it once all the 10 episodes have released. Um, just because it is one of those series that I think I'm gonna prefer bench watching it than watching every week. And I don't know if you guys, have different ways to watch animes, but for me at least, some series I really like watching episode week by week, and then series like this one, I like dropping and then coming back to it, just because I like to bench watch some series. Days with my sister, still gonna watch it. Wistoria is in my maybe pile. I might drop it. Not really sure there. Um, let's see. A lot of these I haven't maybe seen or have not big opinion. Dropping the strongest magician in the Demon Lord army was a human. Definitely dropping that one. I've seen series similar to that one, just didn't care too much about it. Um, Shoshimin, How to Become Ordinary, didn't really think it was that interesting. It's a mystery series. Also dropping it. Um, I parry everything. I watched the first episode, gave my first impressions. That's about it with that one, to be honest. Why does nobody remember me in this world is another one that I might drop and then pick up again once it all fully releases. I don't think I've released my first impressions yet on this one, but I like this one as a series to maybe bench watch. So yeah, it's not that bad. Let's see. Dropping the Osan Newbie Adventurer, uh, Trained to Death by the strongest party, something like that. Um, Dropping it. Senpai is an Otokonoko, dropping that one for sure. Just not my cup of tea. My wife has no emotion, dropping it. Sorry, not my cup of tea either. VTuber Legend. If it's dubbed, I'll watch it. But for
It will be
now,
dubbed. It will be dubbed this Sunday.
oh, okay, then I'll be watching VTuber. So, um, probably gonna watch Raising Kids if it's dubbed. I believe it is. It is
It
dubbing,
is
right?
dubbed. It's
Yeah.
actually the same day dubbed.
Okay. Oh yeah, that is true. It is being dubbed at the same time. So this one I probably drop for now and then watch it once it's fully released. Um, and then Bye Bye Earth, I'm dropping. Nobody's Way Up to an Exploration Hero. Sorry, I'm dropping. Um, haven't finished Plus Size Elf first episode, but from what I've seen, probably dropping it. Mayonaka Punch, dropping it. Quality Assurance in Another World, probably will watch it once it all releases as a dub. Gosh. From there, Ramen Akaneko, peak anime, but definitely dropping.
No, dude, if you were gonna say things, I'm gonna watch it.
So yeah, um, from at least the new stuff, that's my choices. Um, Let me look some of at the stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that released here in the chat while I was talking. Um, Thoughts on the cross-dressing anime? I didn't really care too much about that one. To be honest, I think um, it's gonna hit the population that it wants to hit, when it comes to like, there's definitely obviously a community that's gonna really enjoy the fact of the cross dressing, the struggles of cross dressing, and all that. Um, Again, that's the beauty of anime. There's something for everybody. It's not for me. So that's just my opinion. What's your opinion, Arceus?
The Otano, the cross dressing one.
Yeah, the sem, the
It's
sem.
okay.
It's okay.
I'm glad there's animes coming out for select individuals or groups of people that watch it. But I watched the first episode and dropped it. It's just not my thing either. I don't think I have a problem with it. Just not my thing. Not my genre.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So bro said peak and dropped. Yes, I did. So, yeah. So again, it's like other series that maybe Arceus is not dropping, but I am. It, anime is gonna be for different people, right? Like you said, for Arceus' girlfriend, she's probably gonna watch Twilight Twilight Out of Focus, which is a BL, I think. Yeah, it is a BL, which again is not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay. I mean, that's the beauty of anime. That there's gonna be a lot. Oh, I did watch Dungeon People. Probably jumping it, but I think it's pretty decent to be honest.
Yeah.
So, okay, what are the ones that you're dropping?
Okay. So let's start off with Aaliyah hides her feelings. I'm joking.
Oh gosh, it's like okay. I mean, if you want.
Tower of God, Oshinoko, all the good stuff. I'm joking. All right. I dropped Suicide Squad after 4-5 episodes. Just don't really care for it.
Yeah.
I'm dropping Stepsister. Don't really need an explanation. I told my fans I would give Wistoria another shot when it's dubbed. A dub got confirmed, so.
Okay. So I'll probably watch dub then.
But I'm not really a fan of it. Of just literally everything you said, I agree with. I'm not a fan of like the whole empty promise. Strong. It's just generic to me. I haven't watched Our Last Crusade. I might drop 2.5 Dimensional Seduction, just depending how it goes. The new episode just really wasn't my cup of tea, but it's alright.
It's a Nechi, huh?
Yeah, the 2.5 Dimensional Seduction.
I haven't seen it.
Cosplay.
Oh, it's on High Dive. Okay.
Yeah. I dropped the Strongest Demon Lord one.
Yeah.
I dropped the mystery romance series, the Shoshishimen series.
Yeah.
I told people I'd give Elusive Samurai another try when it's dubbed. The dub has been confirmed from what I remember. I dropped I Parry Everything. I dropped the Osan one. I think we had pretty similarities when you said I'm dropping the Why Nobody Remembers Me Hero. I just didn't like the first episode. We already talked about the cross-dressing. Let's see. The next one, I'm watching most of these. I dropped Bye Bye Earth. I might be dropping Plus Size Elf, too. I dropped Quality Assurance. I might be dropping Mayanaka Punch. I've caught up to all 3 episodes of Mayanaka Punch. It's getting interesting, or 2 episodes, but it's just alright right now. The YouTube aspect is the only thing that's really holding on to it. I dropped Dungeon People. I dropped the cheerleading anime right by it. I dropped your Death Game High Stakes one. I dropped the Rice one, the Rice whatever one, Hime one. I didn't even watch the cat. I'm watching the Start Dash Monogatari anime. It's like 3 minutes an episode. I also read a little bit of the manga, so it's about this girl that gets isekai'd. I think the manga is probably a lot better, but the anime is only a couple minutes, so I'm with it. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Cool. Yeah, so that is basically that question was a pretty big question. If there is no more questions, then we will be ending the stream pretty soon.
Hey, Irvin, what do you think of God of High School? A lot of people have been talking about earlier in the chat Tower of God and God of High School, and some people think Tower of God's better. Some people think God of High School is better. I know I've got some chat about this and asking people, so what do you think of that?
Gosh, I'm not the right person to ask. I've seen only one all the way through. Tower of God, I have not finished the first season. I
Oh,
guess I
wow!
guess that answers your question. Um, I don't remember why I stopped watching it. I know I'm gonna go back and watch it dubbed because I have a lot of friends that are now watching it, and they swear down that it is a good series. So
If I had to put sequels on my list, Tower of God is definitely my top two. Like, I love it that much.
yeah, yeah.
Like, of this season.
Yeah, I think people really enjoyed it. I myself, I don't remember why I dropped it, to be honest. It could have been just one of those series that I had so many others that I was paying attention to, and I just stopped paying attention to it, and then it became one episode that I was late, and then two episodes, three episodes, which happens often to series for me. Is if it doesn't grab my attention and I forget to watch it, and I'm like three, four episodes behind, I might just drop it. So I
Yeah.
think that's probably why. So yeah, I would probably say God of High School is probably better because I did finished it. Um, he hates manhwa. I don't know if that's that according to me or to Arceus, but no, I actually like manhwa, to be honest. I have quite a bit of reviews here in my channel. I wish more stuff that's being released as books, as manhwa books, are in the future to be released, but not a lot of them are. So hopefully more of them do come. But let's see what's coming in the fall. I haven't even seen what's coming in the fall.
Oh, hey, Irvin, since I got you, since I know I don't see a lot of people having questions, are there any questions you have for me about any animes you've seen or like just anything in general, anything upcoming for the next season?
Yeah, so I'm looking at the upcoming right now. Which ones are you excited about? I know Arifureta is coming with season 3. I'm excited for that. But
Yeah,
how about you? What are you excited for?
fall's actually going to be the weakest season this year for me.
Oh, really?
Not, I understand that there's a lot of like hype shows, but I'm not caught up to like any of them like at all, really. So I can't say I can't start ReZero. I don't really have an opinion on ReZero, but I've dropped it, but it's not like because it's bad. I just don't really care for it, you know.
But Dragon Ball Daima is coming out.
Yeah. I'll be watching Dawn to Dawn. I'll be watching SAO, of course. Shangri-La Frontier is great. I saw your review. I agree with you pretty much on what you said.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
watching Blue Box, Dragon Ball. I might catch up to the first season of the appraisal scale from last season because I know season two's coming out. Is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a lot of isekais, like there's a couple of romances. There's one
Oh
about a
gosh.
30-year-old dude and coworkers. There's a harem shonen about the Amaga sisters or whatever.
I'm watching this one here on the left. If my wife became an elementary school student.
What do you think of that one?
That is definitely attracting the wrong crowd.
What's really funny is that from what I've heard, then who knows? These may be the wrong people defending it, but from what I heard it's nothing like what the title says.
Oh, okay.
I've heard it's very wholesome and it has nothing to do with anything that comes to your mind.
Oh, okay. Hopefully.
Yeah, from what I've heard, I don't know. People are just clickbaiting me, you know, and just
Yeah, usually the fall has more horror. Um, and I'm not seeing any good horror. What in the world? Oh, it has God App season 2.
oh
Nice.
yeah.
It's like all the way to the bottom. Wow. No one's talking about that. Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be Beastars final season also.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be. I mean, it's going to be stacked for probably 99% of anime fans, but for me, I mean, like I said, this is mostly shonen isekais that I'm not even caught up to, and stuff like that. But anything that's not or that's starting, I'll check it out. I mean, I like Don Machi. I just haven't caught up to it. I don't really. I've only watched an episode of Bleach, so I can't really catch up to that.
Yeah.
I can't catch up to Ari Fuente. I only saw season one. I saw one episode of Blue Lock. like, I mean, it'll be stacked for people. I can't just jump into the season,
Yeah.
So
I get it.
that's what I mean. But no, I mean, like I said, there's Sao, there's Don to Don, Blue Box, Shangri La, Dragon Ball. Um, like I said, there's a couple of romances I'll be checking out. Loner Life in Another World is going to be really good for someone that's read a little bit of the manga and light novel. I don't know if you've read it.
No.
Okay. I think it's an interesting isekai, for sure. I think it's also another one where he gets summoned with his class. Yeah, he does. Yeah, another one. Um, there's a lot of isekais coming out next season that are at the pretty bottom. I mean, there's the Magical Girl Factory one that I'm a little bit interested in. Um, I'm sure that'll blow up since Gushing Over Magical Girls blew up. Trillion Game. That's by the Dr. Stone author. If you're interested, it's a drama sign-in show.
Oh wow.
I'm definitely hyped for that. It's definitely at like the bottom, but
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Look, that looks decent, but yeah. Says horror is not my type or the worst anime type. I actually like horror. Horror and survival are my favorite anime.
Irvin, what did you think of Housing Complex C?
From Max.
Yes.
Um, Gosh, it's been a while since I watched it. What was the ending of? Was it aliens all along, or what was the twist?
The girl was like the god all along.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Gosh, it was trippy. I remember seeing it and thinking, man, whoever wrote the ending was high. Uh, it was trippy. It was very very trippy. Um, yeah, like the whole foreigners, like you thought they were gonna be a big part of it, and then they weren't. Gosh, it's been a while since I watched that. It doesn't have a lot of episodes, right? Like 6 episodes or 8 episodes?
Like four, man. Try four.
Or like 4 episodes. Okay. Yeah, it's an easy one to watch. Sanrio says, love the life, guys. And then she put, see ya. See ya. Awesome. I appreciate everyone who was here in the chat. It was a really lively chat. I do love that. Um, we are gonna try to do some of this maybe later on Arceus. Maybe we can plan something else in the near future. Um, Thank you guys so much for watching. For those who don't know,
Is there anything else you'd like to mention, Irvin, about like the shows you're watching, or any questions you have about any animes that aired
yeah,
this year, or anything you'd like to talk about, like before we
yeah.
finish?
I think maybe we can talk about anime that have aired so far, in maybe a different live.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe do a top five of that, of what's aired
Huh.
so far.
Yeah.
Because we haven't really talked about anime from this year. I think we talked about the fall anime, and then the winter anime was just releasing when our last live. So maybe we could do another stream. Thank you guys so much for those that were here. There was a like I think a peak of like only 12 or 13 at one point, but just that is enough for us to continue doing lives. Personally, I love doing lives with Arceus. I don't know if you enjoy too Arceus, but
Yeah, man.
I
I've, I've
appreciate.
always I've always enjoyed doing this with you. When you reached out to me on one of my videos, I mean, I still remember which one it was, and we had all these people, but everyone's off doing their own thing. But I'm happy that I was able to still stay in touch with you, man.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll plan maybe something in the near future, and then for those that are here, don't forget to subscribe. Check out Arceus. Arceus is doing some work as well. When it comes to editing, I don't know if you've shared stuff on your Twitter yet, Arceus, but I'm sure he will share some information on that. If you're looking for an editor, Arceus is up for the work. Um, we don't make any money from YouTube. I was at one point, ever since maybe December, I've stopped making any money. So I'm hopefully eventually going to be monetized again, but who knows? Who knows when? So, but yeah, we don't make any money out of this. So if you want to support Arceus, go support him on Twitter. I think you're pretty big on Twitter, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Decently.
That's probably your biggest
Social media.
yeah, social media. I forgot the word. Gosh, it's late. Uh, yeah, so go follow him on Twitter. I wish I had all his information in the description below, but because we were trying to fix the whole live, I don't have it right now, but I will post it on it. So go follow him, follow me here as well. You guys can follow me on TikTok, where I'm getting bigger than when I am here. I have like 16,000 followers there, but I do appreciate all the love and support. We didn't go live on TikTok more than maybe half an hour because of the whole YouTube messing up. So just it is what it is. Thank you again, Arceus. You have any last comments?
I appreciate all the people that joined. It means a lot to both you and I, and that I appreciate you, Irvin. Like, you're great. I appreciate you. You're a great guy, and I hope to do this again.
Yeah. Kikado says, give another hot take to be bigger. I don't know what hot take to put. If you don't watch Days with My Stepsister, you don't know what romance is. How about that? Okay, we'll end with that. Thank you, Arceus. Thank you so much for those that were in the chat. We'll see you next time. And like always, guys, don't be strangers. See you guys.